everyone. We're back with another Bookish Babbles bonus episode, and we have a returning guest, Gaby. Yay!
Yeah. Hi, guys.
We had so much fun doing the ballad wrap-up episode. I couldn't wait to have her back on again.
You're much too nice to me.
Yay. Thank you. So today we're doing the social media book tag. So this tag was originally created on YouTube back in like 2014. So it's weird to say that it's an old tag because 2014 feels like it was like 2 years ago.
Yes.
But I cannot find the original creator's video because I think they privated it or something. So I'll just link to Ariel Passet's video in the show notes so you guys can check it out there.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, before we dive into the questions, I kind of just wanted to talk about how we feel about social media because last time we talked, you and I were talking about how we don't always like posting, and I thought we could talk about that for a bit.
Yes, I sort of have personally. I have sort of a love and hate relationship with social media because I do think that it's very entertaining, but at the same time, it can become quite toxic, or at least to me. I've noticed that I don't particularly post everything I do because maybe I was born in the wrong generation, but I sometimes forget to have my phone with me, or even if something cool is happening, I don't remember to pull out my camera and film it at all.
Yeah.
Which is quite sad because I don't have the footage of a lot of cool things. But at the same time, it makes me be a little bit more in the moment and not so much not worry about posting or followers. I love followers and it's quite nice, right? But at the same time, at least for me, I really like just being in the moment, and also I'm forgetful. So
yeah, no, like because I'm really bad at posting and taking pictures too when I go places. That's what my mom and my other friends are for.
Yes.
Because like I'm pretty like the only reason there's like record of me on social media doing anything in high school is because of my friends and my mom. Like yeah. I got a Facebook out of necessity because I was because my drama club in high school had a Facebook group where we were like got rehearsal updates and whatnot, and I was tired of getting information secondhand, so I was like, fine, I'll get a Facebook.
You're like forced into social media.
Yeah, no, and also because at the time I was like I looked up to Jennifer Lawrence, obviously, because the Hunger Games movies were coming out, and at the time, yes, Jennifer Lawrence said like, I'm never gonna get a social media, so I'm like, I'm gonna be like Jennifer Lawrence and never get a social media. How the tables turn.
Yes, those like goals. Yeah. And now everything is about social media.
I know. It's like, at least when we were in high school, we at least, even though social media was like kind of gradually taking over, it felt like we almost had the option to still not be as heavily involved in it. But now, especially like when the pandemic happened and lockdown, like we basically lived our lives on social media during quarantine.
Everything went online. It went from being in person to everything online. Art, everything just went kind of like, yes, what I said, online, virtual, which
I know.
At least to me, I thought that was pretty cool because it opened doors to different type of art, different type of storytelling. Personally, for books, at least for me, I really struggled because I love buying books and like feeling the pages and smelling the book, which is quite weird. I know.
Walking into a store just surrounded by all the books.
Yes. And now, because of the pandemic, I had to get a Kindle that I had not had a Kindle, guys. It was a pretty good purchase, to be honest. So unless of having a whole bag filled with books that my mother calls bricks, and I have one, which is a Kindle. But even though I love it, I miss, at least in the pandemic, I missed the comfort of buying new books, which at least to me is like part of like self-care in a sense, guys. It's like, I don't know, I really liked it. And now with social media, is it me, or when I was in high school, I was not so worried about really the like beauty standards or what's in or what's not, or it was, well, at least with me, I wasn't as worried because maybe I didn't get as much social media presence in my high school days. But now everything is like thrown at you. What do you feel like? What's your sense on FOMO?
FOMO?
Fear of missing out.
Oh, fears. I see. This is why my brain's not meant for this century sometimes, because I hear acronyms and I'm like, huh?
No worries, I learned it.
No, I'm not kidding. My mother once texted me when I was like 13, like BTW da 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 da, whatever she said, and I like answered her, and then I said, by the way, what does BTW mean? She's like, what you just said. Read back your last message, Allie.
I know. Like, but what do you feel about fear of missing out and how this new generation, because technically we are Generation Z. Yeah. What do you feel about this new fear of missing out and the need to document everything?
I mean, it is real, especially on apps like TikTok, where it's so easy to scroll that you want to keep going, like, oh, the next thing might be something really important I don't want to miss. And especially when you're a teenager, you feel like you need to be in the loop for everything. Otherwise, you're like, I have no value, even though that's obviously not true.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I have a lot of complicated feelings because, like you say, social media and things being online can make things more accessible, like the wonderfully helpful slime tutorials. But on the other hand, it's a difficult balancing act, because on the other hand, you don't want to miss out on real life things because there is like you said, being bombarded with horrible beauty standards, because especially with like Instagram, the algorithms, and even on TikTok, often will show you people who are closer to the quote unquote ideal beauty standard. Yes. I feel like, and it makes me, who I feel like I don't reach that standard, where I'm like, oh, I feel shitty about myself.
True. Like, I feel exactly the same way. And how I personally, I like plastic surgery. I support plastic surgery if that's your vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But how it worries me how now the new beauty standard is not something sometimes naturally done, not naturally obtained, but you only obtain it sometimes only going through plastic surgery, which, at least to me, I find it quite scary, because it's like, okay, I get the beauty standard. Quack the beauty standard. I don't like the beauty standard, because beauty is subjective, so it's only in the eye of the beholder. And depending on the time, different cultures, different everything, beauty standard looks entirely different.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, humans are beautiful. End of sentence. However, it scares me of how, not only how easy it is, but people start forgetting the dangers of plastic surgery and invasive procedures. And that, personally, not only with my nieces and nephews, it really worries me to the point I was like, how will they think about going around changing their features? Because when growing up, even if I didn't like my face or anything about me, my dad was sort of the person going like, well, too bad you look like that. Period. You look like your dad, you look like your mom. You should love yourself because you look like the two people that you love the most.
Mm-hmm.
Which in my case was like,
no.
But at the same time, it's like, so you don't want me to change anything because I look like you? Odd conversation, right? Yeah, it's like, look very similar to my dad. Dark hair, flat chest. Like, we're one of the same. But at the same time, I look at my nephew. He just turned 1. And
he's a cutie.
He is a cutie. Okay. Proud aunt moment. He is the cutest baby there is. but I look at what he's going to kind of like behold, and so I really wonder how their sense, especially growing up and later on becoming a teenager, what his sense of like dues to pay in order to be part of the loop. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because in my case was like a whole lot of eyeliner, the really kind of like straight bangs that everyone did.
I'm so glad I never actually got bangs.
Oh, I did. It wasn't a good look.
Oh no. Oh man, if we had been friends back then, I would have told you not to do it.
I wish you could have stopped me. I looked
okay,
awful.
Just invent time travel specifically to go back and tell younger Gaby not to do that.
Like, bangs, not a good idea. Not a good idea. Don't.
Listen, I met you in the future. You were not happy.
Yes. Yes. And that was like pretty much my dues. But I see my nieces and I hear them. They're 12, they're 13. And they're talking about literally, what's it called? The eye surgery that makes your eyes look slightly slanted.
Oh, no.
Yes.
At 13?
Yes. And I'm sorry, but that scares the quack out of me.
Okay, yeah, if I ever have kids, they're not getting social media till they're like 16 at the very least.
I'm in my early 20s and I see my nieces and nephews and I get slightly terrified because they, even clothes. When I was 12, when I was 11, when I was 13, I was not wearing corsets, or I did not think of how good or bad certain parts of my body looked, because when you're 12, 13, 14, you're a growing human. You
should not be thinking about that already.
Exactly. You're supposed to look awkward. It's something that everyone does. You're growing up. Mm-hmm. It's part of the beauty of growing up, which is awkwardness and learning, and you get a thicker skin and everything's good.
Yeah, no, you should be riding your bike and debating over who's the better avatar, Aang or Korra.
True. Or pretty much not focus so much on how you look, but the person that you're slowly becoming, which is, I mean, teenage years are hard enough. All the hormones, all the growing, all the learning how to everything. It's hard. It's tough, guys. And now the new generations are adding this need to document everything and need for like beauty that it's not even like it's not that they're not supposed to look like that, but they are looking much older.
I know, it's scary. I look the same age as some teenagers who are like 15 and I'm like, what the fudge?
I know, it's really scary. And I go like, oh, quack. And literally I like, if they feel happy, if they seem happy, and if that's what's healthy for them, I was like, kudos to them. I support that. But at the same time, I wonder if they're really truly happy with that. And if, at least to me, I sometimes have to erase some like sort of social media from my phone for like bits of time, because I find myself being a little bit, I don't know, worried about, and I start looking too long in the mirror and looking at my nose or looking at my eyes and wondering, and it's like, wait, no, it's like,
yeah. Nope, erase, delete.
Yes, and also there's the part of me that is really deadly scared of needles, and yeah.
Oh,
and like,
did I tell you what happened last time I had to get blood drawn for
what
doctor appointment? So I'm so bad with needles that and especially because it had to be in me for a slightly prolonged period of time because they had to take blood. So I like looked the other way and I was like, trying to not think about what was happening in my arm, and apparently I had started humming. And I'm not kidding, I was humming Phantom of the Opera.
I mean,
and I didn't even really notice until the nurse, when she was done, was like, what song were you singing? And I'm like, Phantom of the Opera, apparently. I'm just like, do 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 do.
That's a whole mood. Phantom of the Opera. When you're
all getting blood drawn.
Slightly in a panic. Everything's good.
Everything's fine.
Yes. And now I see everyone with fillers. And personally, I sometimes look at them, it's like they look so nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then I see how they're done and the procedure, and I go, never mind, moving on.
Nope, I'm good.
Yes. That was like makeup's great. If you are really into art, makeup is just art. Instead of a canvas, you're doing on it, like you're painting on a human.
Yeah.
So I literally approach makeup like a 3-year-old, which is, ooh, colors, ooh, sparkly. I want it on my face now. It's like, make.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's my take on social media. That's why I'm more into books and, I don't know, writing letters.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Social media is a I don't know, scary, wonderful place. Alice in Wonderland kind of place, which is great. And at the same time, very, very scary, guys.
Yeah. This is why I try to stay on like book talk, Marvel talk. Although even then you have to be careful of like the kind of creators on part of certain fandoms, like especially like Marvel and Star Wars, because there are some toxic fans out there.
Yes, and you can't say anything because you're automatically attacked for not having the same opinion as everybody else. And it's like, guys, this is a forum. It's about sharing your opinion. Yeah. Everyone has a different brain. Everyone likes different things.
Yeah. Also,
let's learn to get along.
Also, petition for next summer in like July 2023, we all go see the Barbie movie opening weekend just to piss off the toxic film bros, because there's a Christopher Nolan movie also coming out that weekend.
Yeah.
So just imagine if we all been together and the Barbie movie made more money than the Christopher Nolan movie. The toxic film bros would lose their minds.
Oh God.
Like I'm not saying don't see the Christopher Nolan movie if that's your type of movie. I hope you really enjoy it. I'm just saying, if you can, wait till the following weekend.
I know. And personally, I'm quite excited about the Barbie movie.
I know, because Margot Robbie's in it. Greta Gerwig, who made Little Women, one of my favorite movies, directed it. Shang-Chi is in it.
Yeah. And personally, I really like the mission that Barbie originally has, which is be what you want to be. Whatever you want to be.
Exactly.
So I think that's amazing. And yes, I know that there's been a lot of talk about how toxic the standards of a Barbie are, which true. However, how they, according to the toy store, not the toy company, it was made because it's the perfect size for kids to grab it. So yes, Barbie, the beauty standards that it imposed, yes, they're odd and horrible. However, the message behind it, which is be what you want to be, and the female encouragement, because you could have police Barbie, veterinarian Barbie, anything Barbie,
astronaut Barbie.
Exactly.
Like,
and
I didn't even think of, I mean, yeah, Barbie's obviously beautiful, but I never really thought about like the unrealistic body or whatever. I was just more caught up in all these movies that she's in.
Yes, and I love them.
I know.
It was great.
Like, I probably wore out my Barbie and the Nutcracker VHS tape.
The one that I really liked, and I was a little bit older than I thought I was supposed to be. Whatever. But The Princess and the Pauper.
Yeah. Listen, I was like 7 when that movie came out. We were still the right age for that.
Yeah, but at the same time, I was like, am I too old to be watching this? No. It's like, I don't care. I'm just like you. You're just like me. Guys, I'm in my early 20s and I find myself humming to that song.
Listen, I was in the shower singing Erica's song that she sings to her barking cat. So
that's a whole mood.
Yeah, yes. Okay. That information's out on the internet now. Okay. Just speaking of the internet, should we dive into the questions?
Yes.
Okay, so the first question is Twitter, your favorite short book. By the way, Twitter is the platform I spend the least amount of time on.
Me too. Okay, the social media book tag, Twitter. Okay, that's a hard one. Well, not really. Okay, the book is called Pedro Páramo, and it is by Juan Rulfo, who is a Mexican author. It's a fairly short book. However, it's so mind-boggling that I keep reading it, and I've been reading it for 10 years, and I go back to it because it's pretty amazing. And it pretty much it's about Pedro Páramo and him looking for his father and how he gets to the town of his father. And then I'll stop the spoilers because it's a very short book. However, if anyone really wants a good book, especially by a Latin American author, Pedro Páramo by Juan Rulfo, one of the best books I've ever read.
Is it translated into English?
Yes.
Ooh.
Exactly. So go read it, guys. There's not like I don't know why, but there's not a lot of like hype, or at least on podcasts about Latin American authors.
Yeah.
He is Mexican. I am Mexican. It's a great book. You should go read it.
Yeah.
I'll send you a copy.
Thank you. I love
How about you? How about you?
So kind of first of all, like how do you define a short book? Because for me, like a short book is like, I don't know, anything under 250 pages.
True. To me, a short book is like around 200 pages.
Yeah. So yeah, I actually weirdly struggled with this question just because when I think of like my favorite books, a lot of them tend to be like longer or like average length, I guess. So I weirdly struggled, but in the end I just went with We Were Liars by E. Lockhart.
True.
Yeah. And there's a sequel coming out this year.
That's exciting.
I know. So I'm like, I don't think I don't think it's a sequel. I think it's actually a prequel about like the parents' generation when they were kids.
Sounds fun though.
So we get to see more of the origins of the messed up family dynamics. Oh man. Yeah, like this like I remember when it first came out in like 2014, it was really big on like BookTube, and then I think it's gotten more recognition on Book Talk now. At least I assume so, because I saw on a table at Barnes and Noble that's like popular on Book Talk.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a fun book if you want a mystery.
I haven't read it, so literally I might just send me the list.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll track down some of my copies and then post them on the Instagram so you can see what they look like too.
Yes.
Yay.
Please do.
Yay.
So we're moving on to Facebook.
Yeah.
A book everybody pressured you into reading.
Oh, I'll go first this time.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is one where I had a couple answers, but they're both by the same author, because like I was basically just pressured into reading this author.
Yes.
So V.E. Schwab. Have you?
No.
So she's written a lot of like more popular fantasy series, like when A Darker Shade of Magic came out, basically every like YouTuber and internet person was like, read A Darker Shade of Magic, and that's the one where there are two main characters who exist in like parallel universe Londons, and the main character, he can like hop between the parallel universes, and there's like only very few people who can do that in that universe.
Yeah, super fun.
Yeah, that's a trilogy. And then her other popular book that came out in 2020, because I remember seeing it on Book Talk a lot. Try saying that 5 times fast.
I can't. I definitely can't.
But anyway, her other book was The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which is main character is granted immortality by the demon guy. I forget who he was exactly. But the catch is, as soon as she meets someone, as soon as she's out of their line of sight, they forget who she is.
Oh.
Yeah. So she's immortal. She can travel around, go anywhere, but like she'll say hi to someone, like I don't know, goes up to like a fruit stand or whatever, and then as soon as she walks around the corner of the street, they forget who she is.
Oh, damn.
I know.
God, I want to read it. Keep saying the list. The list.
The list. Okay. What's a book everyone pressured you to read?
Oh, with me, it was very basic question, like very basic book series. The Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. My sister and cousin like literally pressured and pestered me into reading it because I mean I was young. I saw the movies. I think I was around like the third movie.
Yeah.
When they pressured me into reading them. And it was one of the best choices because it's true. Even though the movies are breathtaking, I have to admit that the novel is the books are quite amazing. And it's completely different. Some of the characters I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Or sometimes, yeah, like people who've only seen the movies, they don't know who Peeves is.
I know. Yeah, no, and for me it was because my sister just like brought out like because she owned the first 5 books, so literally she was like, fine, you're starting to read them, and she brought out the first 5 books just and plucked them.
Just speaking of bricks.
I know, and I was like, what? And I have to admit I read them far too fast.
I know. I think I read when I got around to reading Deathly Hallows, I think I read it in like 2 days or something.
Yes. That is a. However, my favorite film is Prisoner of Azkaban, and my favorite book of them all is in Spanish El Cáliz de Fuego, the Goblet of Fire.
Ooh, that's a good one. I feel like the Goblet of Fire book is a fan favorite.
Yeah,
and I understand why. Although I am partial to obviously Deathly Hallows, but also Half-Blood Prince.
Yes, that I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. Well, the biggest reason is because Harry and Ginny get together in that one.
I know, it's like literally like Ginny Weasley in the books is completely different.
I know.
Like, oh, yes.
Like I don't blame people who have only seen the movies if they don't ship Harry and Ginny, but if you read the books and you don't ship them even just a little bit, I don't trust you.
I know.
Like, they don't have to be your OTP. You could maybe want them to get together with other people, but if you don't ship it even just a little bit, we may have a problem.
I know. And in the movies, I shipped Harry Potter and Hermione.
I mean,
in the movies.
It's the most obvious conclusion in the movies, it feels like.
Yes. Or I kept shipping, I don't know why, Malfoy and Hermione.
You and like 90% of the internet. And so part of it is because Emma Watson had a crush on Tom Felton.
I mean, and they would have looked very cute together. Just saying.
Listen, they knew what they were doing when they were promoting the reunion and showing specifically Emma and Tom hugging as they reunited.
I know, and it was such a wholesome moment that it was worth it.
Yeah, it was a beautiful, wholesome moment, but the people advertising knew what they were doing.
Oh, they knew. They definitely knew. They know how to get us. They just know.
Yeah, no, I cried at the beginning when I watched the reunion when I saw Emma reunite with Bonnie and Luna, my 3 favorite girls. I'm like, I love you guys.
I know how like heartstrings pulled. God.
Yeah.
So the next one, Tumblr. A book you read before it was cool.
What did you read before it was cool?
The Percy Jackson series.
Really? When did you read it?
I was, I think in the 3rd grade. It was before everything, they became a movie and the whole thing. And I was because beforehand I was very into like the Greek mythology. And then and a book fair in my school.
Thank you, book fairs.
Exactly. In the English book stand, it was Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. I was so excited because the person that sold it to me was good at selling books. He was talking to a child and got me, he's like, do you like Greek mythology? I was like, yes, I do. He was like, do you like adventures, however, set in modern times, like a kid like you. And I was like, yes. It's like, then this is the book for you. And he got, like, he pretty much gave me, well, not gave me, I paid for it, but I mean, I bought my book. And I have to admit that I read it in the next 4 hours.
Yes.
Once I got home. And then I begged my dad, because the book fair was like about 3 or 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
I begged my dad to come to school after school with me to the book fair to see if they had the next one and if there was a next one.
I love that.
Yes. How about you? Tell me.
So, well, I was introduced to Percy Jackson a year before the movie came out because a kid did did like a project where we had to pick a book and like make a pitch for it to be adapted into a movie. So someone pitched for their class project before the movie was announced for that book to be made into a movie, and they picked Anna Sophia Robb to play Annabeth. So that's who I've been picturing as Annabeth my whole life, essentially.
Oh.
So I'm kind of sad that she's obviously too old to play the role, but whoever the cast is going to be amazing, I know.
I know. It got to a point that the Percy Jackson series was really made well.
Mm-hmm.
Because Logan Lerman is a great Percy, but I did find it odd how they changed the ages.
Yeah, because I read the first book right before the movie came out because I wanted to see it. My dad was taking me to see it, and then I sit down and I'm like, why are all the 12-year-olds in their 20s? I
mean, true.
Yep. And anyway, my answer to the question, because I did not read Percy Jackson before it was cool. I read Radio Silence by Alice Oseman.
Oh,
before it was cool, because and it's like my favorite book. But so Alice Oseman is thankfully getting more popular now because Heartstopper, her graphic novel series, is now a Netflix series and everyone's in love with it, and I'm so happy everyone's in love with it. But yes. Radio Silence was her like second novel that she wrote, and I didn't read it the year it came out because it didn't come to the US until like a year later, but I read it as soon as it was available in the US because I just randomly heard of it like through the grapevine. I'm like, oh, that sounds really interesting. Got it from the library, read it in like 2 or 3 days, loved it, and then had to go buy my own copy because I wanted to keep read it again and again and again. And then I laughed, I cried, all that good stuff, and it's emotionally resonated with me.
That's really cool.
MySpace, platform I was never on. But my aunts were, and they occasionally tell me about it. A book you don't.
I was like, MySpace, what is that?
I know. It's like mostly a thing for like older millennials, whereas like younger millennials, older Gen Z, it's like we're familiar with it, but we don't know it.
Oh no, I didn't even know it existed until you sent me the list, and I was like, what is that? I know, I suck, guys.
Yeah, I just know because my aunts are like older millennials, so that's how I know about it. But anyway, so a book you don't remember if you liked or not.
Okay. Elsewhere by Gabrielle 7.
What one?
Elsewhere.
Oh.
By Gabrielle 7.
I haven't read that one. I've read some of her other books, but I haven't read that.
I think that they made it into a movie already. But it's about a girl who dies in an accident, and pretty much it focuses on her and her afterlife. But I generally don't remember if I liked it or not. I probably did because I kept the copy, but and I'm sure it's really, really good because I kept the copy, but I just don't remember if I don't know.
Yeah.
How about you? Tell me.
The Education of Margot Sanchez by Lilian Rivera. Mm-hmm. And like I drew a total because I had to like scroll through my Goodreads because thankfully I've had Goodreads since like 2015 now. Because in general, I usually remember things about the books I've read and whether I like them or not. When I was scrolling through Goodreads, I got to that one. I'm like, I did read that. What the hell happened in that book?
I know.
I just remember like the synopsis, which is that teenage girl wants to spend her summer having fun with her friends, but she makes the stupid mistake by using her dad's credit card to buy like $600 worth of clothes. So naturally, she gets in trouble and has to spend the summer working at her dad's store to pay back the money he owes her for all those clothes. Because he was like, "Oh, you can buy some clothes," and then because she was out with her friends or whatever, I think they were like, "Oh, well, should just buy all this stuff."
Yeah.
Yes, and they pretty sure it's like some coming of age thing, and I gave it like 3 stars on Goodreads, so that's still like not a bad book, but I genuinely don't really remember how I felt or what else happened in the book.
Yes, no, it's because it's hard because I feel bad for not remembering whether I liked it or not.
Especially because, the author obviously put so much time and effort into that.
Exactly. So I feel bad. I really genuinely feel bad, but I don't know, like I'll reread it and will remember definitely.
Yeah. Don't think I'll reread that one anytime soon because I have a bunch of other books I need to read, and I also have no idea where that copy of the book is. I may have donated it to the library. I have no idea.
Like, oh book, oh where art thou?
Wherefore,
oh book, where art thou?
Wherefore art thou, book? Anyway, so the next question is our favorite / least favorite platform. I think Instagram.
Yes.
A book that was so beautiful you had to get it and or Instagram it.
Ooh, my copy of the Dorian Gray's portrait.
Or the picture of Dorian Gray.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. In Spanish is El Retrato de Dorian Gray.
Oh, okay.
Because I bought it in Spanish, guys. I'm Mexican. I speak Spanish.
What?
I know.
I did not know this. This is brand new information, Gabby.
The sarcasm there. It's great. No, but yes, so it's like the picture of Dorian Gray. It's black and it's not the modern cover at all, but it's like black, almost velvety, and it has almost like all these like flowers, like silver flowers going around it, and looks quite old, and it says El Retrato de Dorian Gray, and it was just so beautiful that I literally saw it with all the books and it was on sale. Ooh. I saw it and I was like, it's mine. I don't know what it is. I don't care what it is. It's beautiful. I'm going to buy it. Also because it has flowers in it and like a hummingbird, which is odd. Mm-hmm. And almost they create almost like a mirror like around it. So mm-hmm. I thought that it was breathtaking, how like the book was breathtaking. So I got it. I read it. I got scarred for life. It was great.
Yeah, good times. I think I had to read that my sophomore year in high school. I need to reread it though, because I don't remember much of what happened except the creepy parts.
Oh, true. And then I watched the movie with Ben Barnes.
Oh,
I know.
Okay, I didn't even know Ben Barnes played Dorian Gray. Holy shit.
Oh, he did. Please, you have to watch the movie.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, no, like he is gorgeous. Literally, I read the book and it was one of the best purchases I've ever done because I still have it. Like, not only do I read it, but it's so pretty to see. Mm-hmm. And like where all my books are, that even my mother, she was like, I really like that book. It just looks gorgeous. And it's a great book.
You need to send me a picture so I can then post it on the Instagram. Be like, everyone get this edition.
Yes.
Yes. I love to collect pretty classics. Like, yes. Like my copy of Beauty and the Beast, my Jane Austen collection. I have multiple copies of editions of Peter Pan because I found some amazing covers, and Peter Pan's one of like favorite stories ever.
Which, by the way, I need to buy another Emma book because mine died.
Oh no!
I know.
But anyway, the book I'm officially going to show you is a recent thing I've acquired that was literally so beautiful that not only did I read it fairly quickly after getting it, I did post a picture of it on Instagram. And And I have it here to show you. And I'm gonna butcher the name. I even tried looking it up to make sure I pronounced it correctly, but I'm still gonna butcher the name. Rumaisa.
See, Rumaisa, yes.
Yeah. So I'm showing Gabby. None of you can see it, but I will post it on the Instagram. So it is.
It's a purple and blue and red beauty and pink. It's gorgeous.
So it is a collection of like retellings of fairy tales, and Rumaisa, thank you. Is the main character who does make an appearance in each of the stories, but her story is a retelling of Rapunzel, but instead of her long hair, she has a long magical hijab.
That's really nice.
And not only is this book beautiful, but I just love this representation so much because I've always loved the story of Rapunzel. I grew up loving the Barbie Rapunzel movie.
True, it was a great movie, guys.
And the best dragon ever, Penelope.
Oh, yeah, she was a sweetheart.
Yeah, but I don't know. And also, I think as a kid, sign number one that I was always an introvert, I think, was that when I first heard the story of Rapunzel, I was like, wait, gets to hang out in her room all day and no one bothers her? Sounds good to me.
I know, it's like, that's the dream, guys.
Yeah. And fun fact, I played Rapunzel the year Tangled came out, so haha.
See, you and Rapunzel, one of the same.
Yeah.
Plus, you have pretty long hair, pretty amazing hair. So
thank you.
Keep saying.
So, and in every like adaptation I've seen of Rapunzel, she's had hair that's looked similar to mine. She's always looked like me. So I'm really glad that now there's this representation for other young girls. Like, no, you can identify with this character too. Don't let the Eurocentric beauty standards tell you otherwise.
Exactly. Literally, when you see a lead female character who's not blonde, at least to me, it's a win-win situation. I have nothing against blondes, but I always wanted blonde hair growing up. My hair is dark brown, and it's a very dark brown, and I've learned to love it. Growing up, I was like, they all have like either blue eyes or green eyes or gray eyes, and my eyes are the color of coals, which is great.
There was one point I actually did want brown eyes because I wanted to look like the American Girl doll Julie. But yeah, anyway, the other two stories are retellings of like Sleeping Beauty and Cinderella, and all of this takes place like Middle Eastern representation in this book. So I recommend it for everyone.
And also a very long hijab. I like that. It's a very long hijab, right? Or sorry.
Yeah, it's like instead of let down your hair, it's let down your hijab.
That's nice, because if you think about it, someone using your hair as rope to go up, I'm sorry, but that has to be painful.
Yeah. Into the Woods even makes fun of it, where it's like Rapunzel's supposed to be like, ow, 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 as the witch is coming up.
I mean, sure, it's like, guys, hair pulling hurts.
Yeah. I mean, Tangled kind of had the right idea, where she was like pulling on the hair herself as like a pulley method.
Yeah. No, but still, like, guys, hair is a delicate thing. Take care of it.
Yeah. Also, I do love that one episode of Once Upon a Time where it was like that one variant of Rapunzel that showed up in season 3. First of all, I want that dress. It's like one of my favorite dresses on the show. And second of all, it's like they had a woman of color play Rapunzel. I'm like, oh, this is awesome.
Yes.
Because again, I want everyone to love this character.
Because it's a great character, and in general it's like the only description of her is having very, very long hair.
Yeah. It's just artists over the years deciding to value blonde hair over the others.
I know. And it's at the same time, it's like gorgeous hair, dark hair, strong hair, healthy hair. It's good hair.
Exactly.
I wish I had good hair. So
anyway, we went on a big hair tangent. It's all good. So,
I mean, yes. YouTube, a book you wished would be turned into a movie.
So
you go first. I have a list.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Because I have a couple answers too. So first one is obviously for me, Radio Silence by Alice Oseman because you know everyone loves Heartstopper, so I'm like, cool, now make her novel Radio Silence into an adaptation and get me a dialect coach so I can improve my British accent and I'll play Cares. But the other one is Geekerella by Ashley Poston.
Aww.
So it is basically a Cinderella retelling, but instead of like the ball being the big event is a Comic-Con type place. And the prince is a movie star who is starring in like this adaptation of like this big sci-fi movie series reboot. And somehow he and the main character end up like getting each other's numbers and texting each other. I don't remember everything that happens, but I need to reread it, and I think it would make a great adaptation. And I should play Elle.
Yes. Oh, with me, I have like a whole list because more than a movie, I thought about TV series.
Ooh.
Yes. Okay. The first one that is actually becoming like a TV series, I think, or a movie is The Selection.
Yeah, I have heard that it's getting some kind of adaptation.
Yes, by Kira Cass. I think that it's pretty cool in general, and I'm really excited, especially because nowadays we also watch series because of how gorgeous the wardrobe and the dresses are. Rain, like Bridgerton, Gossip Girl, like the list goes on. So I think that could be pretty cool. Ooh, another one would be, oh, here it is. The Lunar Chronicles.
Ooh, yes.
By Marisa Mayer. I think on screen they would be pretty much breathtaking.
Mm-hmm.
I also have
fairy tale retellings in space. What more do you want?
Exactly. However, that would be quite difficult to make. However, it would, I don't know. I think that it's pretty cool.
Listen, they've made the Mandalorian in the Book of Boba Fett. It can work.
I know. The next one is The Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard.
I haven't read those, but I know they're popular.
Yes, it's like, think about it like slightly the Hunger Games, but imagine it like a movie franchise, which is pretty much okay. No spoilers, guys, but it's pretty good. You should guys like read it. I think that if it gets picked up, it could potentially become a great movie franchise. And the last one that I'm going to say is The Gone series by Michael Grant.
Oh, yeah, that is a really good. I'm surprised because that's been out for a while now. I'm surprised it hasn't gotten picked up for anything.
I know, like literally Netflix, please just grab it, because it literally say it's one day all the adults disappear, leaving the teens of the town in their wake. Things that take a turn for the worst when the teens begin developing talents and powers that lead to a deadly divide among them.
Yep. That book also that's a stressful book too at certain points. Like I think it's like this. I remember something happening in like the last one. I won't say what it is because spoilers. But like while all the shit was going down, I was like flipping pages.
Yes. Yes. And another series that I'm thinking right now is The House of the Night by Kristen Cast.
I haven't read those.
The House of Night? Oh, it's a great series. It's about vampires. I know that we've outgrown like Twilight, guys. We have. However, these vampires it's like a mixture a little bit between the shadow hunters and vampires, because the vampires in this one, they just turn and they get tattoos in their face that get stronger, and not every single vampire lives into adulthood.
Oh,
I know. And they have like their whole like religion, which is with Nyx, with a goddess. And I mean, if they did that as a series, I think it could be quite cool. It's dark, it's sexy, it's vampires. Everybody loves vampires to a certain extent, and it can get really, it's like really not exactly violent, but I mean, if any of you is a fan of the Craft, the movie, you know the Craft.
No.
You've never.
There's a lot of stuff I haven't seen.
I know. I'm making you watch it. The original. I'm making you watch it. And okay, the last one is the Crank series by Ellen Hopkins. Because I do think that like moving away from fantasy series or like pretty much novels, I think that this could be quite cool because it talks about a straight A student that comes back from a summer away struggling with drug addiction. And I do think that making a series like Hello Netflix, showing that, especially with new generations and how the use of drugs has become some sort of like socially accepted. We have that could be a very cool series, a very raw and a very honest way of exposing society. I don't know. It could be quite cool.
Yeah.
However, I'm moving to please do like sci-fi things. I mean, it's quite cool. Please do. Super excited.
Yeah. Also, this isn't a question, but that is written down for the tag. But what are like some of your just favorite book to movie or TV show adaptations?
Okay. I have to go with Harry Potter because Lord of the Rings because Lord of the Rings because
it's Lord of the Rings.
I know, it's like duh. I do like Jane Austen recreations into movies. Emma, I thought it was hilarious with Gwyneth Paltrow. And even the new one with Anya Taylor-Joy, I thought it was hilarious. It was very camp. I loved it.
I know. Anya can do no wrong when it comes to her performances.
I know, and she's Argentina. She speaks Spanish, so I'm like, yes. With Keira Knightley, Pride and Prejudice, I have to admit that I've watched that movie about 50 times in the last 3 years.
That was basically my introduction to Austen. So yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Yep.
And pretty much, yes, any Jane Austen novel made into, it's just breathtaking because they get that period so well, and how English Gabriela, English. I talk about how well like the places that they're shot and how nice like the countryside looks like and how idyllic, and the big mansions and the architecture and the gowns and almost a tranquility and everything about manners. And I think that it's breathtaking to watch. I wouldn't have like lasted 5 minutes in that society. Not happening at all. However, I thought that was, it was pretty darn amazing. And but the Pachinko series, that they Pachinko book that they just made into a series. I am watching it and I'm crying.
Oh no.
like bawling, and it's great. How about you? Tell me.
Well, I mean, the big obvious ones: Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Hunger Games. We were very lucky to get those adaptations for those books. But there was one I watched recently on Netflix called Moxie. It's based off, again, like a YA contemporary coming of age sort of story. And I read the book like around the time it came out, and I don't remember much of what happened, but the movie was really good. It's basically teenage girls fighting, rebelling against the dress code and the sexism in their school.
I mean, true. Personally, Moxie, I wanted to throw a chancla or a shoe to the main, like to the protagonist all the freaking time. So Moxie, good movie. Personally, I wanted to punch the lights out of like of several people there. Several.
Yeah.
Emphasis in several. But I mean,
But I enjoyed it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I have to say, nothing beats Lord of the Rings and nothing beats Harry Potter.
Oh no. We me and two of my other friends we're rewatching like all the Peter Jackson Middle Earth movies. We just finished the last Hobbit movie, so next time we get together we're on to Fellowship of the Ring.
Yes.
But yeah. Oh, and I really do love Simon.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I saw it in a movie theater with my friends. We cried. Tears of joy.
Tears of joy, because Love, Simon is a great movie, and it's a great story. It's a great book.
Mm-hmm. Just like crying, and you know, me and my friends that I went to high school with were like, "Where is this movie a few years ago? We needed this a few years ago."
It's like,
we're fine.
It's like, are you fine? I'm not fine. It's great.
Oh, I'm not fine.
Also, how could I sleep on that? A Handmaid's Tale.
I haven't seen it or read the book yet.
You have to. Okay, I'm pressuring you into reading it. You have to.
Speaking of things people pressure me to consume.
Yes. Ooh, and okay, War and Peace. Have you watched?
No.
Oh, you have to. War and Peace, great one. It's just literally, there is something about Leo Tolstoy that is just like the writer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It paints the story and the characters so well that when they got it into a movie, I may have watched that on repeat for like months. Maybe.
Oh, speaking of things I watched on repeat for months during the 2020 lockdown, I kept watching the 2019 Little Women.
Yes.
I love that so much.
Yes. So, Goodreads, a book you recommend to everyone.
I just said anything by Taylor Jenkins Reid and Alice Oseman.
Yeah, no, and I said The Handmaid's Tale. What? Like, read it. Just read it. Read it. Just read it. Read it. Is it breathtaking? Like, is it like heartbreaking? Yes. Read it.
Yeah.
I'm making you read it. So we already said that. Handmaid's Tale.
I think I can get the audiobook from the library.
If not, I'll send you my copy.
Yay. No, I've heard good things about the audiobook, or I think there are a couple versions. I'll try to find the good one because I do drive around a lot and I like listening to things.
Yes. Yay. So, Snapchat.
Okay. Yeah, so these next two questions are bonus questions that I came up with because they weren't a thing in the tag. Like, I think Snapchat was like barely a thing when this tag was made, and then TikTok obviously was not a thing in 2014.
Yeah, and I was like, got real big fast TikTok.
Yeah. All right, so Snapchat, a book you forgot about as soon as you finished it.
Oh, please don't kill me. Okay, The History of Witches.
I haven't read it, so it's fine.
I felt bad, but I forgot about it. I felt bad, and I was cleaning my bookshelf today, and I found that, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a Piece of Me Together by Renee Watson, and she's a generally like well-loved author, I know, and I think I got the book like from the library like a few years ago because I don't have a copy. But I was looking through my Goodreads to see all the books I've read in the last few years, and when I came across that one, I was like, I don't remember. I think I gave it like 3 or 4 stars, so I liked it, but I do not remember what happened in that book. So I feel bad.
Oh, a book you forgot about as soon as you finished it. Baldur. Algebra. I'm kidding. Not kidding. I'm kidding. No, yeah. I'm not kidding.
Also,
algebra.
Also, I have like the Snapchat.
Yes.
App on my phone, but I don't think I've opened it in like 3 years.
I mean, I think I used it for 2 weeks, and then I was like,
Yeah.
Not my vibe.
Okay, last question.
Yes.
TikTok, a book that got real big real fast.
You start.
Okay, so I have it with me because I always forget the author's name, but this is a book I haven't read, but I plan on reading very, very soon. These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong, the fantasy series that's a Romeo and Juliet retelling.
Oh.
What?
I didn't know about that one.
It's like I see it like everywhere on TikTok, so that's why it's crazy. I still haven't read this.
Well, I'm literally gonna read it.
Yeah, it's there are 2 books and it's a duology, so there's only 2 books, but I plan on like marathoning them on the plane.
Yes.
Assuming I don't fall asleep or get distracted by watching a movie.
My choice was Little Fires Everywhere.
Oh, that did get big fast.
By Celeste Ng.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I
have no idea.
I know, guys. Like, please tell me if I'm definitely butchering it. Please, if you tell me how to pronounce it.
You've been listening to me talk all night. My skills are not here at all.
No, they are. No, like legit. But it literally, they even made it into a mini series that I watched, and I thought that it was great. And because I saw that it was a novel, I learned that it just came out in 2017, and by 2020, this miniseries was premiered on Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
So it was 3 years, boom, miniseries out. Which was, I think that she hit the jackpot, and it's a great story. And personally, I thought all the acting in the miniseries, and also it was spot on. And the novel was absolutely great.
Oh, do you know what else got big really fast? And for good reason. Like, I'm glad this got big fast. Like, it had a movie deal before the book was even came out.
Oh.
The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas.
Yes.
Yeah, like, I'm glad that book got big real fast. And I was lucky when her book On the Come Up came out. She had one of her tour stops was in Boston. Me and my friends got tickets to go see her, and she signed our books.
That's amazing.
And she's such a lovely person, and she's also great at freestyle rapping. Like, she did a couple for us, and I was like, whoa, mind blown, like watching her on stage. And I was like, so nervous when I went up to my book sign. I was basically like, I love your purple dye streak in your hair. Did you know that's the color of royalty? Just spit out random facts for no reason in her face. And she was really nice to me about it, obviously. But I was like, hi, nice to meet you.
That's like the high-pitched voice fangirl, like, everything's fine, calm down. Hi.
Everything's fine. She didn't just write my name in this book and said to Allison.
I know, it's literally, it was act normal. I'm not acting normal, guys.
Yeah, and you were allowed to bring another book for her to sign, so I got my copy of The Hate You Give signed too.
That is amazing. Darn it! I'm so jealous right now.
Hey, baby. Ray is currently laying on my foot right now.
Aww. She's a cutie. Guys, pets are literally little angels that come into our lives.
Mm-hmm. This one's a very chaotic angel.
It's a gorgeous angel.
Anyway, so that is the end of the tag. Woo, we made it.
We made it. Literally talking to...
We only went on a few tangents, multiple tangents, whatever.
But I mean, it happens with books every single time.
Yeah, so anyway, Gabby and I are gonna go off to record another tag because we just want to do another tag.
Exactly.
So these episodes are going to come out at different times. Obviously, I haven't decided when yet, but either way, Gabby, I'll see you in a minute. Everyone else, we will talk to you next time. I will link Gabby's Instagram in the show notes again.
Thank you so much for having me. It's my pleasure of recording with you and talking about books, which is our favorite subject. So I am more than happy. Thank you so much for everything, guys, and please stay tuned for more books, because what are books if not the joys, one of the little joys of life.
Yep. And don't forget, we're still reading The Hunger Games. Woo!
Woo! Exactly.
Yeah, we're getting close to the end of part 1. We're about to get into the arena. Yeah, but But yeah, thank you so much, guys, for listening. Hope you have a great day, night, whenever, and I'll talk to you next time, and I'll talk to Gabby really soon.
So see you. Bye.